Hey guys. So far I've talked about one path, one resistance. Now I'm talking about one solution. So essentially what it is, and it's a pretty simple idea really. The idea is that what you do is you actually define who you are, what you want to do now, okay, and you either do it or die on the path to doing it, okay, which is sort of like 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying as a metaphor, but if you know the rapper. But in actual fact, that's the only choice you have. If you have that level of commitment, then you have stuck to the path that you have chosen, or that may have chosen you, as best you can, and you've done the best with what you could, okay? And that's essentially how I see the, quote, spiritual path, or leading the life that you're supposed to lead, right? Now I'll leave you with a kind of metaphor for this, and I didn't make the metaphor up, but I think it illustrates very, very strongly the idea that I'm trying to illustrate, okay? So there's this man who wants to be rich, okay? He wants to be very rich, and he goes to his local guru, and he says to this guru, he's like, okay, I want to be rich, and I haven't been able to make the money, and there's no opportunities for me. I haven't been able to make money, and there's no opportunities. It's not fair. It's not fair. There are no opportunities for me. And the guru said to him, is like, okay, I'm rich, you know this? And the man says, yes, I know you're very rich. And he said, okay, so you have to trust me. Trust me that I know how to make you rich. Okay, and the guy, he already trusted him and said, yes, you're the guru and you do know how to make people rich. I know this, and I know that you know how to make yourself rich. The guru said, okay, tomorrow I want you to come to the beach, okay? I want you to come to the beach, and I want you to wear your finest clothes, okay? And if you wear your finest clothes and you come to the beach tomorrow, I will teach you what it takes really to be rich, okay? To have whatever you want. So man, he was like, okay. So what ended up happening was the man went to the beach, and the guru was standing there, and the guru is in his board shorts, okay, beach clothes, swimming clothes, and the guru goes out to knee height in the water, and he says to the man, come with me. And the man, he doesn't want to follow, but he wants money because that's the thing he chose, that's the path he chose, right? So he follows the guru out, and to knee height, which he was wearing, by the way, a business suit, okay, it wasn't even a business suit he owned. It was just one he borrowed, which was like an Armani suit, and he borrowed it, and he's in knee height in this Armani suit that he can't afford, and that now he's going to have to pay for because he's ruined it basically, and he's walked out knee height. And then the guru walks out a bit further into a deeper depth, right, waist height, and the guy is like, it's cold and it's freezing, and he gets a little upset, but he walks out a little further, right? And then the guru starts swimming out, and now he's at just above essentially the nose height, okay? The guy's trying to swim out with him in a business suit. He can barely survive. The guru puts his hand on the guy's head, starts to shove him underwater, right? Starts to shove him down. And what happened was the man fought him off, and he basically swam to the shore and started screaming, and he hated the guru, and he was so angry. He was so enraged at this guru. He's like, what were you thinking? And he starts screaming at him, you tried to kill me, you tried to kill me. And man, the guru said to him something, and he never really got it, but after that, when he was dying, he realized what it meant. The guru said to him, when you want to succeed more than you want air, that's when you'll have success. And in your case, that's when you'll have money. See, when you were drowning, even though you were never going to die, when you wanted to succeed and have money more than air itself, that's the point where you become like me, rich. Okay? And I think that metaphor illustrates very strongly what it takes to be successful. And now I'm going to ruin this by adding a cliche Hitler reference, which usually occurs in arguments, a metaphor to Hitler. But there is a book out there called The Winner's Bible, which isn't a Bible per se. It is a book about performance and neurology by actual neurologists and people who work with athletes to produce higher results, like high performance results, and things called flow states. But in actual fact, it has some interesting historical research about Hitler. And that research, what it has in there, it points out that Hitler had hysterical blindness after World War I. Okay, so he had hysterical blindness, and it's very difficult to solve cases of hysterical blindness. But a doctor said to Hitler, he said, "You are meant to rule the world, and with that, that is why you will get your sight back, because God has chosen you to rule the world." Right? Now, Hitler regained his sight, okay? And when he regained his sight, he associated that to the belief that he would rule the world, okay? And this is documented. This is just a historical fact. You can actually find it out, and the references to it are in that Winner's Bible book. But the point is, this person, as horrible as the things he did was, this person had an association or a belief which was so strong, it was associated to the strongest form of sensory data in terms of the amount of brain information it takes up in the senses, in terms of processing. He had that associated to him ruling the world. So in the same way, oxygen is a requirement. It's a sense in a way, like how much oxygen you have. He had another sense, and so in that way, the metaphor is you got to want it more than you want the general processes of life. Okay, you got to want it more than oxygen, sight, hearing, sound, anything like that. Okay, and that metaphor, to briefly sum it up, is like when you have that level of willpower and you combine that with the path you want to be on, you combine that with the identity that you define, and you combine that with doing what you should do now. What is it now you can do? Because, see, your actual path will change, maybe, okay, but you've got to be willing to let it change. If it changes, if your idea evolves, your goals evolve, or something changes, right, you have to be willing to let that go and let that happen. But you've got to actually still have that level of commitment, okay? And that's really the solution to the resistance that I was referring to, okay? And if you apply that to any path or anything you have the willpower in, something that you want to achieve, you have the greatest chance of achieving it. All right, cheers, guys.